The Adam's apple of Canada, and we're live. Woo!
Woohoo!
And oh, the joys of live radio. And we're back, and I'm sitting here right now with Genevieve Thiers and Moumita Ahemd of Run, a campaign transformation show. And that's all I know about it. So I'm going to let them talk about it, and then I can like devise my third-degree questioning strategy.
Absolutely, no worries. Well, let me first tell you what this is. So Run is indeed a campaign transformation show. We tell people a lot, think Queer Eye, but for women in politics. So it's a bit different, obviously, but it helps to use comparables. So the way that the show works is we have this amazing, badass lady team of trainers, and we are in 5 areas: campaign, media, field, tech, and comedy. And when women are running for office, we go into their races and we
terror,
just wrap around
horror,
them,
death. Film at 11.
Help them get tools. And we help them in every respect. And the goal is to get that candidate to win and then pull more women up behind her. So it's really fun. You can see more at runtheseries.com.
So it's a live video stream series?
Actually, no. We have gone out, and this has been kind of on fire from the beginning. So the idea came from, a whole bunch of salons with candidates I did in my living room. And, the best ideas just come from huge crowds of women, in this case, talking about this. And then my friend Victoria sent me these funny candles with, like, Hillary Clinton and AOC on them. And I was like, it's going to be funny. And so basically the show just popped out of nowhere. We shot a pilot, we shot a trailer, and we have just been out gathering a following and talking to production companies and agents, and the response has been incredible. So at this point, we're certain that we'll have a lot of help going out to networks. And the main question is, are networks ready for an amazing, feel-good campaign transformation show aimed at getting women in office? I think they are.
Have you thought about doing it as a Facebook live stream? Or?
We did. And actually, we were just told not to at the beginning because, if you can get the pilot, get the trailer out there, sometimes you can just jump straight onto a network, and that would be lovely. Not that we don't want to build this organically. We are. We've had over 400,000 views of the trailer in the last 4 weeks. We've got 32,000
likes in a month.
Unbelievable. So, we could do that, but it just makes sense to go the other route to see.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think we reach more audiences that way because we're really trying to target everyday women who might not understand jargon in politics, might not know how to run for office, and demystify the process for them.
Mm-hmm. Moms demand
Medicare
moms demand congressional positions.
Pretty much. And Moumita's actually our field trainer on the show. She's amazing. She just gets out there and she knocks on the doors with the candidate and the flyers, and it's incredible.
Yeah, door to door is so much fun because I've done that before. It's a lot of fun when you.
It's fun. We got to chase after a dog at one time. Yeah, a dog owner, and it was fun. It's like I get to teach candidates on how to talk to people about the issues and how to door knock. I have a friendly signature knock that I teach people how to do, and it's fun. And door knocking is such a great way to get out there because so much campaigning could be done behind a desk or in front of a computer. So, like, having the ability to show the field aspect of it.
Well, growing up, coming from the age when people actually did. Go door to door when Canada did to do that because there wasn't the email or the texting and all that. That face-to-face contact is very important for a candidate.
Yes.
If you can actually see and maybe ask the candidate, meet and greet with the candidate, even if you don't like that candidate anyway, even afterwards, you still come away with a better impression.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and we're learning that women, the 5 areas that we cover as trainers on the show are really important. Across them, we can help a woman in a week to just catapult her campaign. You wouldn't think comedy, for example, was critical, but, for example, in our pilot, we had Bushra Amawala, this amazing woman that just won her race. For school board in Skokie, Illinois. And, she wears a hijab. So Victoria's there at the Laugh Factory teaching teaching her. She's got Muslim comedians with her teaching her how to make a joke about that the minute she goes out. And you use it as a weapon then, instead of like in a good way. You can go out and you can turn that to your advantage versus it being an elephant in the room that everybody just wants to ask about. Suddenly you've made it funny, and it's great.
Yeah.
We also cover tech. We cover campaign. Faith Winners, our campaign trainer, sits with the candidates and raises money on the phone. We cover media. Mary Sims, our incredible, she did war media in Iraq, we've got amazing photos of her in uniform on planes. She's teaching candidates how to pop on camera, and we're very different women, but we've banded together to just push other women across the finish line, and I think that's important.
Well, the whole thing about humor is that you can teach more with humor than you can with, straight, this,
Facts, yeah.
This is why right-wingers aren't funny, because they don't know how humor works.
Right.
They think that, the muse of comedy is Thalia, and she carries a hook.
Right.
And the muse of tragedy is Melponemy, and she carries a club.
That's a good one. I like that one.
But it's true.
Yeah.
So it's easier to hook somebody
Right.
and to teach them something than it is to hit them over the head with it. That is why you've got people get more information on the news from late night comedians.
Right, like
from
The Daily Show.
Full Frontal.
Right.
Oh my God, Full Frontal is great.
Actually, our director is a producer with Full Frontal. With
I
Samantha
love it.
So this is right. Of course, Samantha
Meandering
Bee's
story.
incredible.
Due to a miscommunication between me and SAG-AFTRA, I had to turn down a gig on The Daily Show as Sam B's mom.
Oh, no. You know what? It's been the coolest, though, because, just the network, and to be able to, even a lot of us have gone to the show and seen Sam B, this mother performing comedy. She's incredible,
She
right?
is. She's amazing.
She's like a blazer room full of amazing blazers. I'm like, oh, my God, just I want to be this woman. And, I think that spirit of using a diverse casting crew in comedy and feel good promoting women that she has on our show comes through her people, including Anna, into our show. We had an incredibly diverse cast and crew. It was important to us.
It's a beautiful marriage of the entertainment industry and
And education.
Yes, education.
But again, that's more important.
Yeah.
Usually the teachers that you remember are the ones that made you laugh while they were teaching you.
Yes. That's true.
And they were because when they were teaching you, they were able to express what the subject in such a way that you didn't feel like you were being beaten over the head with a club.
Right. Accessible.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm sure Momo remembers too. We had the most insane pilot filming. We had 4 days?
Yeah.
4 days.
Yeah.
4 days to get this pilot down. And obviously we'd rather have a few more days with the journey and the candidate. But we're self-funding this, right? So we got together and Momo showed up. We had a bag of avocados on her bed. Just because she'd said she likes avocados. I don't know why we did.
Oh, yeah, because I'm on this diet where I eat a lot of avocados. It's got fat, which is good for your brain.
It's a good fat, yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those good fats, and
Yeah.
that's probably why I've been having issues
But I'm
all day
also a
long.
millennial.
She's like, is this because I'm a millennial?
I haven't had my brain fuel, my
God,
brain
me neither.
octane.
For me, it's just coffee. But no, it's
Someone
fun.
someone has the avocado stress balls somewhere here.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yummy.
I don't know what organization.
Well, you know what you can do with this? This is totally off topic, but this is how it goes. But this is my brain on ADHD. The skin smeared on your face for a mask because the oils from the skin the leftover. Yeah.
It's also good for your
Never
hair.
turned on a mask.
Yep. It's like.
Well, it was a crazy couple of days filming, but we
got to
it
brunch.
done.
That was fun.
It
was. We got this. This candidate is brilliant, right? So these women, when they come to us on the show, they're already amazing. All we're trying to do is just give them that extra amplification so they win, period. So they win. And so, Bushra was just trying to go from scrappy to professional. She's in college, right? So she's sitting there. It's her second race. She's 20, 21, She's at DePaul. And anyway, she was using iPhone photos, so we got her a photo shoot. She hadn't been using a walk list tool, to cut districts and gather information at doors, reliably with her supporters. So we gave her a victory guide on the show. Very simple stuff, but and the joke
but
in her talk
you
made
don't
all
know,
the difference.
Things tools that people don't know about.
Yeah, no, they don't know, and and so
and she's
Moumita
never
does
knocked on doors before because she ran in the past, but she never knocked on doors.
Not even selling Girl Scout cookies?
Some people just have it. Actually, that was kind of my first time, too, because I'm from tech. So I build tech companies, and so it just, and then Moumita's got her knock, and here's where you leave the flyer, so they have to pick it up. And there's genius in all 5 of these areas, enormous amounts of content and information, and just, I love the edutainment we're doing, because it's so fascinating, but it's also very educational.
Yeah, it's
what we do.
As long as you keep it focused, because you just saw my brain on ADHD, so...
Yeah.
Well, it's basic. We're just helping women run for office.
Yeah.
Have you had any successes so far, or?
Bushra won. Yeah. So we only have the pilot, but we've lined up our first season, and it looks terrific. So our goal... we're always going to be high level. We have 1 week with the candidates, so we're also to honor those other groups. We'll make sure we always have guest stars from Vote Run Lead and Emily's List and Supermajority and these groups that are doing the really hard work behind the scenes. That's important to us. But we've also lined up a season, and the point of our shows is to just blast away at the things that stop women from running. Yeah. So we have a show where a dreamer is running, and we show that journey. We have a show where moms are running with young kids and the mom shaming that goes on. We have shows about imposter syndrome and bullying, about managing optics like an abortion, about transgender and rights for for gays. That it's just really, really important to do all of these things so that teenage girl sitting on her bed that's like, I've never seen myself, not even in the White House, but in office at all. We show her in every episode, her, a heroine running that could be her, overcoming traditional obstacles and winning her race. So I can't wait to just film the whole thing.
You can't see Genevieve's face, but or Moumita's face, but they're just like glowing. It's like, this is like so much fun.
This will happen.
It's like the first presents at Hanukkah. And knowing that, unlike your Christian friends, you've got 8 more nights of you've got 7 more nights of presents coming.
Parcel it out. Very clever.
Plus, you have to remember it's also the festival of deep fried food. So
I know it's all the wins. In one
it's like
holiday.
That's it. It's that's it. So but the joy that. These 2 ladies are like exuding is just really remarkable and a lot of fun to see.
Well, we can really make change. Yeah. That's the thing. Who gets to do that? Right?
Exactly.
And if you're not enjoying what you're doing, my motto is when it becomes work, quit. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing and it's obvious that you do, then you put everything into it.
Yeah, and I would say we also practice what we preach. Yeah. So, like Faith Winter, she's in Colorado State Legislature, and Moumita's about to run as well. Run, Moumita. For what?
For district leader, which is like a mini elected official, but more of a community-oriented, kind of like community board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you have to start local anyway in order.
Yeah.
And it's like I said. I mean. Just to go on a bit off track, what the right wing has discovered is that if they start with the local, and from there they can grow their power base, because from the local they can go county,
right, and
from county they can go to the state. Exactly. And once they've got the state, they don't need the federal government.
Yeah, and change comes from the bottom up, right? So if we want to transform this country, then we need to run women for all of the positions that exist. And that's the great thing about the show too. We're able to educate voters about positions in office that are accessible to everyday voters. Like, you can run for county committee, you can run for district leader, you can run for state committee. There's all these positions that have so much power, but we don't know what they are, and our show is able to educate people about it and hopefully inspire people.
Yeah, we'll help all the way through. I mean, we can help you at every level of race. I mean, our dream is to have a candidate come back, like Bushra, come back after you've won your race in season 2 or season 3, run for Congress. That would be terrific.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
For more information, how can the people get in touch? How can women get in touch with you about, getting, if they're interested in running or just getting involved?
Well, it's runtheseries.com to see more and see the trailer, and you can follow us on all the social networks. Please follow us. Please like us. Please invite your friends to like us on. It's just at Run the Series
on the Facebooks.
Yes, it's always at
Twitter.
Run the Series.
Do you have an Instagram yet?
We do.
It's all at Run the Series, and you can follow Moumita's race. Where?
Yes, talk about your race.
Well, I haven't run. I still have a lot of work to do, but essentially we have a thing called the County Committee where I live, which is in Queens, New York. And
I live in Manhattan.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So the County Committee is made up of committee members who are representatives of your neighborhood block, and then you have district leaders, and these are people who are representative of your entire assembly district. So they're like mini elected officials. They get to go around and be like, hey, what's going on, and lobby to council members and assembly members. So it's a cool position, and right now we're trying to run 72 people for district leader, similar to back in the 60s when they ran, because in the past the district leader position, it was appointed. And then these reformers ran, and they democratized the process and made it so that it was an elected position.
Took the patronage out of it.
Exactly. So we want to go even further and make it more accessible, because right now a lot of the people who occupy it, they are part of the machine. So we want to run people who are representative of the neighborhood for these positions. So I've decided to just go for it.
That's awesome.
And it's very, it's like a local position, so it's not like I have to raise a ton of money.
Are you modeling Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
She is.
Awesome. Yeah, but like a very on hyper-local level.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, when you think about Congresswoman Cortez, she started hyper-local as a bartender.
Well, I worked on her race.
Awesome.
I was a former social media director for Justice
cool.
Democrats. I'm a very good friend of AOC, and it was incredible just seeing how she was able to elevate others to see her as this beacon of progress and just organize people. Even though, she started as a bartender, but she had this tremendous ability to bring people together.
But that's a sign of, but that's a sign of somebody who's successful, who no matter what they're going to do.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. So many people have potentials, and it doesn't matter. You could be a scientist, you could be a mom, you could be working at a nail salon, but you still have real life experiences because you're dealing with people, and as long as you know the issues and you can articulate it, you should run. And so she did that, and she's inspired a ton of people to do it, and we want to emphasize and help those people.
Sorry about that. My watch was buzzing at me.
Oh, no worries. People do ask us what the biggest advice we give to women is, and it's literally the title of our show. Run. Just run.
Yeah.
You're ready. Run.
Exactly.
Run
now.
Towards.
Run at.
Run towards.
Get it, girl.
What was that song? Run for your mother, run for
Run for the country, run for the city. Our comedy trainer, Victoria, came up with this song where she's like, run for your mother, run for your
My
father.
little runaway. Run.
She's going to be so
away.
mad. I think she wanted to save that song.
Yeah.
We're
No,
going to
that's what
totally
went
do
into my
that
head,
someday.
you know.
Totally do that song someday.
Should do a musical improv, yes.
La. I know, we all, half of us
Eventually.
sing.
I want that, seriously. We want an entire episode that's a musical.
We'll be like Glow. We're going to do one, too, where we're 1950s I Love Lucy, and we're all totally not in power. and we're like, hi, honey, would you like an anchovy
one of the
paste?
things that people don't quite understand, and if you watch the shows from the 1950s, women did have a lot of power because they ran the households.
Yeah.
They controlled so much.
And they
Even
got
though
no
weren't-
credit.
And even though they weren't really in the workforce, but they controlled everything. Because,
It's depressing because, again, they couldn't do it openly.
You're right.
you know?
But just remember, if it wasn't for women, we never would have gone to the moon.
Yeah. Oh, if there were...
We never would have gotten to the moon if it wasn't for a woman.
Well, we
first
put a
tech
woman in the moon,
heroes.
I think, at some point.
We put a woman
Did
on
we?
the moon?
I don't know.
Has there ever been a
There
woman
were
on the
women
moon?
astronauts.
Not yet.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Yeah, but like there was
no.
never mind. I'm bad at history.
That's a new TV show. Get a woman on the moon.
There's actually a
Run for
German
the
film
moon.
called Woman
Run
on
for
the
the
Moon. It's a silent. It's like there's this animation thing of this bullet rocket ship like being launched to the moon, and it like lands in the man in the moon's eye.
America, this is a
Yeah.
miss. This is a
Where-
miss for the world.
Yeah,
And that's something I say too in the show is that I just want women to take charge and go for it for everything, anything. Like just we need more representation.
and we need to
everything.
remember that anytime anybody says to us, "You cannot do it," that means you can do
you
it.
can do it. Yeah, as Nelson Mandela once said, it's only impossible until you get it done. So
Yeah.
get it done. Yeah.
Well, the biggest thing that I would say that I think also is coming out of the show, women, if we could just get ourselves united together,
Yeah,
we
because
could do anything.
there's a lot of not so much stereotypical divisiveness, but I just think it's part of the instinctual divisiveness.
It's how we're raised. Well, it's
no,
built
it's
into
instinctual
us.
divisiveness because it's all about competing for the male.
Well, there's this
And
this
the-
analogy I use, and it's not competing for. I think it's different. There's an analogy of crabs in a bucket that's used for suppressed races. So if there's a race that's being held back, it's the crabs are not running free; they're all in the bucket. And the problem is when a crab tries to crawl out of the bucket, the rest pull it back down into the bucket because you're all oppressed, right? So nobody wants to see anyone else succeed. That is the analogy that I think has happened to us as women. We have never had a woman in the Oval Office, much less, in much power in America. It's weird considering everything else we've done. And, the problem is we're stuck in the bucket. And everyone's like, oh, how do you do it all? How do you balance? I hate that question. How do you balance when you're stuck in a bucket with everyone else totally suppressed, with no real help, unequal pay, incredibly difficult lives? My goal, personally with the show as a producer as well behind it, women have to start talking to each other. We're the supermajority. If we could just get together, stop bashing each other over the head, stop, and that's not something we do instinctively. It's built into us. It's not our fault. But if we can turn around the fighting into pushing each other over the line, then doing it again, we can do anything. We can have a woman in the White House in 2020. We
Yeah.
just need to do it.
Yes.
And that's the great thing about the show is that we are showing women that here are 5 women who are helping other women run for office, and just like showing that sisterhood, that solidarity, and in mainstream media, which is often not really.
Oh my gosh, women clawing at each other on
Right.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Let's stop the childishness and show women as we are, strong.
Right.
I'm
United.
41. I'm a size, 12, 14 mother of twins. This is who's on this show.
Right.
And I am not ashamed, and I'm happier now to be on camera than I was in my skinny 20s. I'm happy right now.
Yeah.
This is who we are. Stop ignoring us. Pay attention. And we need to unite.
Yeah.
We're very
Definitely,
close.
yes.
This is the final countdown. I will not die without not seeing a woman president, a woman promoting women president.
Thanks for the earworm of the French horn for final countdown.
There we go. Final countdown. Yeah.
Thanks for
Get it,
that,
girls.
for that earworm. Lisa,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
thank you for joining me. And again, that's what I've been speaking. Well, I've been letting my co-host is sitting there. Oh my God, she let them talk. Genevieve, Thiers, and Moumita Ahemd from
RunTheSeries.com and follow us at
can-
Run the Series.
And you can email them for more information at info@runtheseries.com.
Yep. Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.